Here's a brief demo on using packages. In CS200, we've avoided packages to this point. So basically what we've been using is the default package, which is no package statement within our code. And that's great for small programs and being able to turn them in on our Insight books and other tools. If everybody's just using the default package, no specific package, then all the code basically can interact, and it's not a very big deal for little programs. But as your programs grow, typically we need to manage complexity. As we've talked about with methods and encapsulation, packages are another way to manage complexity. And so let's start exploring more about how the package mechanism works. And for this, I'm just going to use two classes, a table and a cup. And we're going to start off with those basically in the same package, and then we'll put them in different packages and see how the different visibility effects there are. So let's bring in Eclipse. And right now I've just got week 13, and both of these are in the default package, meaning there's no package statement. If there was a package statement, it would be the first Java line in the file, ignoring comments, but it would be right at the top of the file. It would say package and then some package name. And default package means there isn't one. Cup is similar. It's also in the default package, and it shows up this way in Eclipse. So they're both in the default package. If we look at cup, this instance variable in cup, so it's an instance variable because it does not have string. Also notice it does not have a visibility modifier, one of the P words, public, private, protected. And so description has package visibility. And so another class in the same package can access it directly. And so if we look at the table class, we can see right here we've got an instance of cup, and we're able to access that instance variable directly because they're in the same package. If we make this private, so now private means this will only be accessible within this class. Then notice what happens over here is we now have a message. The field cup.description is not visible because now it has private visibility. It's visible only within the class itself. Okay, so that's a little bit about how this works. So now let's actually put these into different packages. And it's typically a bad practice, as we've mentioned in the previous class, to access instance fields directly. I mean, there are certain circumstances, but generally you need a good reason to do that. So if you don't have a good reason, then they really should be private. And so we'll actually get rid of this. So we've got two classes, and one way of managing complexity, and there's different ways of doing this. One way is saying model classes that solve a particular problem, like a game or some data classes, compared to and contrasted with, say, user interface classes. We all know about software such as websites, right, where you can play a game. You can have a Windows software to play the same game. The game is the same, but the interface is different. You can have a command line interface, which we're emphasizing in this course, and play the same game. So the rules of the game don't change. And a general principle is we call that the business rules. The business rules, the model, is independent of the user interface. And so let's just make some changes here. Let's say our cup is independent of presentation, and then maybe table, since we're printing it out, then this represents the classes that use it or present it in different ways. So we're doing command line interface, but you could do a graphical interface or a web interface. Okay, So let's put these in different packages. So we can just create a new package, and we'll just call this model, meaning a data model, and we'll just put cup in the model class. Okay, and so notice a couple things. Cup is now a part of package model, and we see that it's in the package name model. And then if we were to go there, I'm going to properties, and so notice that there's the model package, and within that folder is the cup class. Okay, so let's do this as well with table. We don't want to leave it just in the default package, so let's create another package, and we'll just call it there it is, and we'll call it the command line interface. We'll just call it CLI. Okay, so command line interface, and we're going to put table in there. And so we see package CLI, command line interface classes, and now we want to use cup, and so we have to import it now. Previously, when they're in the same package, if they had package visibility, they could just see each other. But now, since I'm in a different package, then I have to import that class. So then whenever we refer to cup, it's going to the model package and getting the cup class from there. And so my program will work with the separate classes. Just prints out vacation. And so that's the basics of it. If I want to change visibility, like all of a sudden I remove visibility from this constructor, and watch what happens. It has package visibility now, but is no longer visible outside the package. Okay, so I can make that public, or if I made this private, it doesn't matter. I'm not calling it in the package, and so we're not going to see, but it's still not visible. Only if it's public in this case will it be visible. Okay, so that's a little bit about visibility, packages,